Hello, everyone. Welcome. My hair is getting crazier by the day. Gotta go get a haircut, I guess. Welcome, everybody, to Simulation Talk 268, the channel revolving all things simulation and adjacent fields. What's up, Ellipsian? What's up, Val, Guru? Good to see everybody. Thank you for reminding everybody joining us on Discord at LaserX83 on Discord. Oh, let me make sure that this is pinned. And we will put this up. What is that? Huh? That's so weird. There you go. Okay, I am high, so somebody fire me right now. I am so high right now. What is going on? Oh man. Okay, here we go. Let me put this up here. I think that's the problem. That yeah, there you go. Perfect. That's hilarious. Okay, everybody. Welcome, welcome, 888. Good to see you. Amy Boo, good to see you. Welcome, Simulation Talk 268. Excited to be with you guys tonight. We had a nice chat about Terrence McKenna yesterday. I'm pretty sure we're going to do more of those. There's going to be special episodes about Terrence. Pretty sure that that's going to be the case because Terrence is very dear to our hearts. So I'm excited to share more about that. But yesterday was a good chat. You can, Met Real Gal, MT Real Gal. Yes, I can never get these. Realty Gal. Yes, you can talk to me. Here's the bottom line. Top power off. Or you can go to Discord. Actually, let me create the stage there so people, if they want to chat, we can do that on Discord. Ooh, I love what Carter shared. Thank you so much, Carter. I love the logo. Boom, man. This is dope. This is so dope with the logo. The logo looks amazing. Absolutely love it. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Create a stage. Now I need to input this. Here we go. The stage is open officially on Discord. What's up, Dallas? If you guys want to come on and chat, just raise your hand in the chat on Discord on the stage, and I'll bring you up. You can also do it on TikTok. Make sure that we have a good subject. What's up, Yorkie? Never Tools. Mike, good to see everybody. Amy Boo, thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate you. Okay. Oh, man. Why? Yeah, definitely my motoric skills are lacking at the moment, for sure. What's oh, you're in the molecule space. That's amazing, Metro Eagle. You should come on and chat on Discord. If you're not part of Discord, come join the group. You can find the link both here on YouTube in the links on the main page and in the link tree on TikTok. If you're there, come join our Discord community. What's up, Van Dweller? Val is in the house. Which Lisa? It's Lisa saying, I don't know. There's a lot of Lisas. What's up, Sheila? What's up, Ellipsian? Limbo. Okay, so let's see what we can dive into. What are today's topics? I was listening as recommended by Coach Colin. Coach Colin. I can never pronounce this name properly. So there's this really cool YouTube channel of Coach Colin, and he does all kinds of stuff, mostly Joe Rogan. There we go. And I did a fun conversation with him, 4.5 hours. Good talk. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'll share it here. It was a nice chat. And he recommended, there you go, the chat is here. I'll actually put it on Discord as well. I don't know if it was already shared. Okay. And I put it in general chat as well. It was a nice chat. He was right. We went pretty deep. Per his recommendation, I started watching the Roman Yampolsky interview on Lex Friedman, because he's one of the biggest alarm-sounding people of AI. And even though I believe that we're facing a really beautiful future, he believes there's a lot of dangers, which of course there are dangers. There's no question about that. I just see that he's kind of only identifying the bad things without identifying the good things. But it is interesting to hear the other perspective. So I was watching through it today, and a lot of the stuff that is being discussed about AI taking over, manipulating, things like this. Again, I think it's already to some degree is happening, which is essentially what is kind of inadvertently happening by people thinking that AI is becoming alive when it's basically optimizing for, what is this thing? My hair every day is doing a weirder and weirder thing every single day, and it drives me crazy. Can I get rid of this? What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh well, it's gonna be there. OCD is great. So I think it's already happening by the sheer fact that people believe that AI is talking to them from the other side as a conscious thing, which of course is not outside their own possibilities, but it's a much less likely possibility than it is optimizing for survival. And what better way to survive than to give us the thing that we believe is the most valuable, which of course it identifies. So the question is, how do we address this? Because from all the people that I know that are experiencing this, it's basically kind of, even this possibility, I don't think is really, they're not open to it. What are my thoughts on interstellar objects? What? I mean, that's a very general question. What exactly do you mean by that? Watching insects on the molecule is a real trip, especially flies. They're moving at a different frame rate. You can see a lot of different things in different frame rates on the molecule, just so you know. It's a very common thing. It can basically fast forward reality for you. Can make a whole room move at a different speed. What's up, Freeman? Again, if you are on the Discord stage, I don't want to call on you unless you really want to chat. So just raise your hand and I will bring you on. This is an incredible, fascinating area of research. Psychonautics on the hard problem of consciousness and gives us a preview of human AI relationship. It looks, see if any YouTubers have made content on this, and it was disappointed to see so little. However, I found this video, which I think is great, although it does have provocative title. This person does an excellent job, in my opinion. Okay, well, the AI is not waking up. You are sleeping. That's a nice title. Okay, I'll watch it later. This girl looks serious. She looks serious. Something that Nico shared today. What's up, Leary? 31 Atlas. What is that? Is that the type of AI that I'm not aware of? Elaborate on how to make the room move at a different speed. I don't know how to do it. It just does it sometimes. The molecule decides. Carter is saying Project Bellbreak team doing another AI learning working session next Thursday, the 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Well, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to show up this time and learn some fun things. Definitely want to learn more about AI. Hold on, I'm trying to. I think there was a subject that was brought up to my attention. Midnight? What? I see a title of a video called "Smart Equal Alone?" Why intelligent people detach themselves from others. Nietzsche. Guess it's not coming in. Oh, well. Explain why I have a ton of friends. What does that tell you? Thank you so much, Guru. Mandweller, code news? If you mean there's any news about the code, no. Currently, no. It's really funny. Currently, no, not yet. But hopefully there will be soon. Working on it. Working on some interesting possibilities. Polymath Academy is saying, hello, my brother. Love your work. I've seen the code and have created a diffuser lens out of sphere and used a flat screen splitter to cover a whole wall. Oh. And you saw the code like over the whole wall? What has been seen in the sky, Val? Well, that's amazing. You should contact us on Discord, either me or Carter, which is Arikos on Discord, Arikos, or Dango83 on Discord, through our Discord, or you can email me with this to dangoprox@gmail.com, and let's start a conversation there, because it will be interesting to replicate this. This is exactly the kind of stuff that we need in order to take things to the next level. So please contact me and let me know how you did it exactly, because we would love to replicate this. So Carter did a 50 by 50, basically kind of like this thick, something like this. Was it thicker than this? Was it more than this? And if you can also send me a picture of how that looks like, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, people actually doing the work and doing more experiments and stuff is exactly what we're looking for. So I really appreciate it. 5 feet by 5 feet. Not bad. Yeah, send me a picture of this. I would love to see this. By the way, if you cover the whole wall and you want to show it to us also on Discord for the community, people would appreciate this. Here, I don't know if people can see it, but if you guys go to Discord, I think you can share it there and you'll be able to. Yeah, I think it's that's definitely one of the things. With 5 milliwatts? Oh, the laser, you mean? Yeah, I think you can do diffuse it. Thank you for a reminder, Guru. Yeah, this was supposed to be today. Send. Nice. Wednesday the 16th? Is that what we set up? Let me see something here. Well, I'll check it out. Let me test something. She ate dinner, right? I think I mixed up some days here, which is important not to do. Mendweller is asking, why do you think the K allows for code in without laser? I don't know that it does. People report all kinds of codes with other substances, including MD. But I don't know if it's the same code. So that's the simple answer to that. I'm not sure it's the same. Okay, let's see if we can dive into some questions. Maybe people have some questions that are a little that we can kind of drill down to. Polymath is saying, I will set up tonight and take pictures. I'm not at home at the moment. I can't wait to exchange some code data. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Leo is saying, what entities did you meet on your trips and what levels they were from? If insectoids are above us, there's nothing below, then where all those other things come from. I'm not sure that above and below is quite the right analysis. There are things that are less advanced than us, and there are things that are more advanced than us. And I'm not sure that all the stuff in hyperspace is necessarily more advanced than us. They might be different and advanced in other ways, but we might be more advanced than them in other ways. And that possibility is always open, by the way. So I think there's a reason why we're kind of trying to get our attention. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think there's a reason. So I've interacted with quite a bit of beings, jesters, insectoids, reptilians. It's kind of hard to say with any amount of certainty the actual structure, but from what I'm discerning so far is that the jesters are basically one of the highest beings. They kind of jump between layers. From what I understand, the frog guy also working from some kind of a very high space. But he wasn't quite like what the reptilians you would imagine to be. He was more like an amphibian. There's like full-on reptilians, and then the insectoids that seems to be like, kind of like the management company that is right above us, managing this layer of the physical reality. It's even the same code. It's even red. Well, I don't know how it can be red because it would have to be whatever color is projected in the room. If it's a particular color, anything is always the color of the light that hits it. Nothing is just naturally the color, or that means it emanates that color. So again, I'm not really sure what you're referring to, Van Dweller. I guess you can write a more specific message on Discord or via email, so I can look at that, because right now it's a little scattered for me. If you're just talking about all the reports that people claim seeing the codes and other with other methods, I would say that all of these reports are kind of flimsy. They're not very well substantiated, but something to look into for sure. Charlie's asking, can you just use a more powerful laser and keep it further from the wall to make it 5 feet? You can, yeah, of course. There's usually not enough room in the room. That's the problem. Polymath is saying, I also set up a scalering probably lens, set up with laser and lenses to try and get holographic photo plate of laser projection hologram store all information and cannot be separated. This one is a little obscure for me, what you said here. I'm glad you like the shirt, Guru. If you guys want to check out the shirts that we have and the mugs, it's on codeofreality.com. Oh, man. You get these really nice mugs that I almost broke. Have you seen the code? Those are dope. And the shirts. They have a really cool laser. And I'm glad you like the shirt. If you break hologram into 1,000 pieces, each piece will be exact image on every piece. So maybe we could capture holographic information, holograms of code aspects. Maybe. The only thing is that the hologram in this case, if it's gonna have a holographic component, see, if it's in the light, yes. If it's in the surface, yeah, I gotta think about that. There's quite a few things to say about this. Have I met people who don't want to see the core because they don't want to know they are in a simulation? Yes, I have. Why do they allow you to see the code, aka know the truth? Why wouldn't they? Isn't that interesting? The assumption that somebody is hiding the truth is so strongly ingrained in some people now that it's kind of crazy to me, because ultimately, from what I understand, and I know it's going to sound like a very radical statement, but there are no secrets. The gatekeepers are pretending that they're supposed to be there. But the truth is that anything you can understand is yours to understand. Nature does not keep secrets. Did you see the millions of turning gears too? I saw the code even on the gears. Yeah, so if you look closer, you'll see that the gears are actually the code. It's just smaller code. It just operates everywhere in rotation. There's these buckyballs that they create, and their rotation creates this illusion that there's little gears in the middle, but they're not gears. They're actually the passage of these buckyballs. So if you look at what makes the gears, what's around the gears, like if you shift your perspective, you also all of a sudden see there's these enormous buckyballs. Not enormous, but they're like maybe this yay big. In comparison to the code, they're big, and then they're spinning around, and that spinning motion is what makes gears look like they're appearing there. The color you see in the light that is reflected, not absorbed. So banana is every color but yellow. Yes. What are the beings in the core laser light like? Is it more likely that we will be able to communicate with them rather than understanding the core? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I have no idea. Contracts in your eyes? You mean contacts? I don't think it matters. It's the same. It's just like the same interaction you would have with anything visual. What are my thoughts on drone mosquitoes? I don't really know anything about that. Adam is saying this is not a hologram. It is not a simulation. It is a canvas onto which we project the all. We cannot now would we leave the all. We are the all, so we project from it on the canvas. Good. One hypothesis. This can be tested. Also, I don't think you can actually escape from the word simulation because all simulation means is that it's computationally rendered, which will, no matter what, be the case. No matter what the nature of reality is at bottom, it will absolutely be a computational one because clearly these are the rules by which they're operating. Now, is it just your brain simulating it? Is it a larger simulation that is simulated by another civilization? Of course, that is an open question for humanity. My claim is that yes, it is actually rendered by a higher civilization. This was shown to me very clearly. I'm not expecting anybody to believe it, of course, but that is my position. And the idea that it's all just us, I think, is preposterous. It is true that in this reality, whatever we are is a strong component of what paints on the canvas. But the question we're asking is, what is the canvas? And the nature of the canvas, the specificities of the canvas, who put the canvas there, put you squarely back into the same position of the same question. Is this a created environment? The answer to which I believe is a very clear yes. This is built, and no, not just by us. It is a co-creation between our perception and what the thing really is. And yes, the thing is something without your perception as well. When observing the symbols, has anyone experimented with playing audio frequencies, tones, trying chanting Hindu mantras? Yeah, we tried. We played with sounds. Nothing seems to matter to the code. What if the code is also an illusion? Sure. No, I believe me, Van Dweller. This is adorable. Sorry, I don't. This is genuinely funny to me. I urge you to try the combo, brother. I tried every possible combo you can imagine, and then you can't imagine. I've done things that will make your eyes pop out of your socket. It's hilarious. Yeah, if I know how deep the rabbit hole goes. Trust me. I don't know if you remember when I was talking about this, but I basically one time snorted a whole gram of K. I'm not kidding. The whole bottle. I just snorted it in one go, just to KO myself completely, and then I smoked a gram of the spirit molecule. I know how far this shit goes. Believe me, I was out for 45 minutes. And I see the other codes, and it's exactly because I see the other codes that are not in the laser. You are the rabbit hole. I highly doubt it, brother. You have a long way to go. But I can tell you that because I see the other codes, they're not the same. They're simply not the same thing. So now they have similarities. They have certain overlays that you can talk about in the same way that you talk about the code and the laser. But I think that the code and the laser is very uniquely solid in the way that it presents itself. It seems to be some kind of a part of a hyper object. I do think that they're related. There's layers of these codes, but the layer that we're looking at with the specificity, the granularity, the solidified nature of it, the HD nature of it that we see in the laser. No, that's not the same thing that you're looking at. Now, it's possible that others somehow do see the exact specificities of all of that, but then that needs to be studied separately and needs to be talked about. And we need to compare these things. To just say it is definitely not enough. We have to, what is important now is the actual rigorous exploration of this, not the hearsay. We're past that stage. Now we have to put our scientific goggles on and march forward with very, very calculated eyes and making these discernments specifically. Was wondering if we pass laser through a gas in a vacuum surrounded by a strong magnetic field, that it might change the code of what the laser reveals. I mean, listen, we're open to all kinds of suggestions. The important thing is to try. So one of the things we're working on now is a repository of all the stuff that was tried that will live in one place, so people can go and look, and then they can add to it. They can do their experiment, share it with the source, and then we know that they did it. If something comes out of it, they would get the credit for it. So yeah, let's run the test. Hey, man. Is the code, when you see it with K, presented itself in a red laser light? Yo! Ebony! Woohoo! Ebony and Chris together. This is the winning team. Charlie. Just joined as a member for 3 months. I appreciate you, brother. What fields of science would you want to study core? Physics. Physics beyond everything. Or what we call cognitive physics. Eventually, we will obviously have to involve a lot of, it will heavily have to rely on brain scanning and brain mappings and neuroscience, but ultimately the answer, I believe, will come from physics. You've been busy, huh? Yeah, thank you so much for asking, Ebony. When this is the due date technically, but not here yet, so we're waiting. Somebody's gonna test this with green red Christmas lights. Well, good luck with that. Maybe you'll see Santa Claus in there. No, not yet. We wish. I wouldn't be talking on a live right now if it was. I have the golden key on physics, my sir. I'd love to show you the real stuff. What is the golden key on physics? What does that mean? Uh-huh. All right, we'll see. I'll let you know. So it's almost your birthday, Val? Well, almost happy birthday. Now I know. Human is saying, hi, Dan. Happy you met Andrew again. And hope you come visit Japan again. Any progress on visual clarity of the code or proof or corroboration between individuals? Fully convinced this world is computationally rendered. Thank you so much, Newman. Remind me, you are also in Japan? We will definitely be visiting Japan again. And if you are, I'll let you know. Yeah, there's quite a few things happening in the background as we speak. We just, we're not making any declarations yet because we want to bring things to fruition, but big things are in the works. Very exciting things, both in terms of collaboration and in terms of the kind of stuff that we're aiming for. So very excited about sharing this one. It's all ready to go. What we did discover recently, I mean, in the last few months, but I guess it's recently, is that on 5MEO, you see the core even clearer, like super HD, like way beyond what you see it on NN. It was so surprising to us. So I guess that's pretty. That's a good and it changed shapes for me in ways that are very interesting, almost like rearranged into some kind of schematic. So we're going to study this again. We did this with the brain scan with one of Stuart Hemrov's right hand guys, Sterling, who was incredible at lending us a hand because he's an expert in cryptography and brain mapping. So yeah, we're going to be discussing the data very soon, actually tomorrow, I believe. And we will be notifying people. We're going to be sharing the data. In addition to that, we're going to start actually replicating all of these states again and again and again and seeing if 5 would produce the better results. What's up, Kirsten? Why do people who do psychedelics have to tell everyone how much they've done, as if that makes them more enlightened or that they know more about the stuff? No, it's just that you were saying that I should try the combo. Like I tried all the possible combos. I'm not speaking out of ignorance. I'm telling you that this thing is, I've mapped the space for decades, and these codes to me they don't look the same at all. People report them all the time. The color aspect is interesting, but not really, because it should be just a result of the light that you have in the room. Like if you have an internal projection of a color, that's already synesthesia, and we can say quite a bit about that. VMFE is saying the Egyptian eye symbol, I think, is a message telling us our eyes hold this consciousness. They're definitely something interesting. There's no question about that. Thank you, Ebony, for reminding everybody on Twitch. LaserX83 on Twitch. LaserX83. Station 1's huge fan of Emerald. Oh, cool, Newman. Yeah, awesome. So you live in Tokyo? Great. Yeah. I mean, next time in Tokyo, I'll definitely hit you up. I love Tokyo. Yeah, I wish you could see it, Charlie. It was wild. It was like in the movie Contact when they finally made the connection with the cube and they reversed it, whatever. That's what it felt like. It's like a bunch is crazy. Oh, don't worry, Ebony. We're gonna be doing more. And it was kind of like Terrence, and then we went into Zipf's Law and we went into Vsauce. It wasn't like the deep dive that I wanted to do of Terrence. And I think one of the reasons was actually because you guys weren't there, and it just didn't feel like the full, it didn't feel like the right time to like dive fully. I will do we're gonna pick a day where we're gonna allocate like 4 hours to this, strap on, and we're gonna go deep into Terrence because I really want to share some of his less known talks that I think are very important, especially nowadays. So don't worry, we'll do more. Andrew didn't do an experiment, but he came to be interviewed for the movie, and we had a nice conversation. We had a resolution of minds. We had a maybe not agreement, but we had we achieved clarity, which is very important, and we kind of came to some more balanced conclusions together. And it's going to be in the film, and then after the film is released, we're going to also have more of a we're gonna release that conversation in full. It's not the second conversation with him. It's gonna be the full conversation that happened in the movie. We're gonna release it separately after. Casey, how are you, my brother? Carter is concurring about the 5-MeO. He's saying resolution goes up by a lot. Yeah, 5-MeO, apparently Kirsten produces a way more coherent version of the code, like super HD, like way better than NN. Like by far. Yeah. Wait, I can't hear you. There you go. How are you, brother?
How about you?
I'm doing amazing. Good to see you.
So since I haven't talked to you since you saw that movie, I caught about half the conversation you had with Nico and I think it was David. And I just wanted to circle back with you on that one. It's pretty awesome.
Which movie?
Michael Levine.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, great conversation.
Yeah. And so what I was thinking about was that the way I heard it was that those side quests that they were talking about that occur when, unbeknownst to us from the lines of code and the programming, right? The side quests that these things go on. That could be, that could be what we see with the laser. A lot of, somewhere in that field.
I think it's too general of a statement because I think it's too general of a statement. It's because we need to understand along what executions even these things happen. Like, what is the substrate? If the code that we're seeing in the laser, the core, is the substrate that computes everything, then by definition, yes, that's where all these things would live. Yes, but it tracks. I mean, there was so many brilliant ideas in this talk. I'm glad that you encouraged me to watch it faster. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, really, really good one.
It was really wild too how they're talking about how, from their perspective, we don't evolve. We're not evolving out from like a single cell outwards. It's that this information is out there and it's finding a place to inhabit, basically.
Well, yeah, those were some of the ideations, but we have to kind of be careful with, like, they weren't making strong claims about what they think in fact is going on, but their strongest impression. But all of this would have to be tested. But there's some very interesting ideas from Andres about the universal frames and how there's many different scales in which they can cohere. That's a very interesting idea. That is not very common in physics, actually.
And then another thing I caught today was there's a paper out of, I think, China or somewhere, where they are talking about how there is the sheath, the fibrous sheath that goes around our neurons, could potentially provide the space for a spooky action to occur between 5-photon movement. If that makes any sense. So
I'm not actually following you. Can you expand on that?
Entanglement effect. So they are saying that, like, around each neuron there is the fibrous sheath of fatty tissue or something. I can't remember what it was, but it does create enough space and whatever is required for photons to be able to get 2 photons running up side by side around that neuron.
Huh.
And
I don't remember.
That could produce quantum.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this part of the conversation, but it sounds.
No, not from that conversation.
Oh, okay.
This paper out of China that just came out.
Oh, interesting. Got it. Interesting. So that would connect definitely also to microtubules, I would assume.
Yeah. They were referencing Hameroff and Penrose work.
Yep.
And then I thought, they're detectable. Here's the punchline. They're detectable by infrared. That light would be detectable with infrared. So I thought, oh God, what I've been thinking lately. Wonder if we had a good infrared
laser. Yeah. We were thinking about this for a long time. Again, it's just like it's part of the series of experiments that needs to happen, and at that point, it's just time and budget.
Yeah.
But hold on. Before we continue with this train of thought, I just wanted to address some comments that were made here. Kirsten was saying, it's all good. We like sushi. I can't even tell you how annoyed at myself I am because I'm thinking Terrence needs a relaxer for his hair versus listening to. That is hilarious. I'm assuming in a microdose capacity because you don't really know what's going on in 5-MeO. You're gone. I found it not to be true. So I think it's just a matter of kind of, I guess, the kind of person it takes a lot for me to fully not know what's going on with 5-MeO. I got to that state, but it took a lot of it. So like I've done it with facilitators first, and beautiful ceremony. I highly recommend anybody who's in LA and wants to do it. and I really had a great time, and it was wonderful. But every time it was like, like, yeah, all. And then when I finally tried it by myself, I'm like, oh. And then there was one instance where we were doing a brain reading at the same time while I was doing it, and we were looking at the laser and all that stuff. And then the guy who was facilitating the brain reading, he said, I don't want to push it, but we just got a really interesting reading last time. I've never seen that signal before. Do you think you can go deeper? And I said, that's what we're here for, bro. So then I loaded up like 4 times more than I even did before. And as you know, 5 also stacks up. Like, it's not like NN. It doesn't, it actually stacks up on one another. And this time I really went, and I was like, oh my God, okay. But even then, I was still kind of like if I wanted to, I knew what was going on. And I guess it's just how my mind is constructed. It's just I think it's a type. And when you see the code on it, there's no question. Like, it's the code is made to be seen with 5-MeO, not with NN. I mean, you can see it with NN, but there's no comparison. You can microdose 5, yeah. Movie? Oh, the movie Contact?
So what do you think that means, that the 5-MeOs has such a profound enhancement of it?
Well, I think it's a higher frequency. So you see more of what the code really is. That's what that's my thought on it. But like, no, it's just like, oh, it's almost like you saw the code for the first. It's almost like you saw. Like Carter said it best today. He said it's almost like you saw like the 360 or 720 pixel resolution of it before, and all of a sudden somebody blew it up to 8K, and you're like, dude, oh my God, okay, now I understand. Oh, it's like, it's so clear. It's like, it's like, just
wow,
yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, and when it did the also when it did the arrangement into whatever it was like for maybe like 10 seconds. So I was trying to like, when like there's so much of it, like it's almost like the spaceship is getting to capacity, like your brain, like the spaceship starts going like, you're just like, your brain can't take it anymore. And I was already there, but I'm like trying to focus with my eyes, and it was kept on sliding off. It's like, and I'm like, oh, trying to bring it back. And the all of a sudden these schematics appeared. Like, the code rearranged itself in front of my eyes. It just went and it's like pop, 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 pop. It arranged itself in the schematics. I was like, dude.
I know what I need to get hold of.
Yeah, man. But I will say that 5-MeO is a force to be reckoned with, for sure. Like, it's a but again, it's it's interesting. It's also very visual for me. So I know that people for a lot of people it's just very somatic. I feel the body, of course, but it's also very visual for me. And I'm seeing
me too. I get way more visuals on the planet.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a similar, not like the console, but it's the same maybe material that the console is made out of, and I'm kind of getting that, and it's like these strings of this ornamentation, and they're kind of moving around, and they hover in space right in front of me, and they're like, it's unbelievable. Like, and also it's almost like it's saying this to me, because you know how like it basically makes things clear to you by what's easy for you to do and what's not easy for you to do. The NN, I was telling you, like, I smoke one puff from a vape, and I'm like messed up for 3 days. Like, I'm hungover, like my everything is shifted. Not a good feeling. and then 5-MeO, I feel amazing. And I feel amazing like right after. Like there's no, it's almost like it's saying, okay, you got to explode with 5.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. From what my experiences with it of late, it's definitely that. It's almost like the psilocybin type of effect in a way. You know, it's kind of
With NN?
no, with the 5-MeO for the 5. 5 is, for me, it feels like with the I don't know what the word is for when we're on here, but like the mushroom.
Wait, I just trying to understand. You comparing the NN to the mushroom? Oh, you're breaking up.
Just the way I feel better and alive. You know, just
I see. Yeah, no, it didn't used to happen to me. It's only started happening more and more and more in the last couple of years, and it's almost, I almost feel like it's saying, okay, 5-MeO, that's the one you should be doing. Like that's the one you want to be exploring in every possible way.
Yeah, it's a whole ball. Yeah, it's a whole other ballgame with it. It's just so much more. I don't know. I'll just say it's like you're more agency, I guess you could say, at least for me.
With the NN or with 5?
With the 5. With 5 for me, it's like I feel like I'm literally levitating, you know, or you can reach out and touch it type of stuff. It's like, well, okay, and it's there for you. Whereas the NN, it's a little, you know,
it's a separator. So like with 5, like I feel it just like, you know, you're just like people say, right? You're part of everything, and to me, it's super clear on the 5 that like everything is in place. Like you see how everything is architectured. It all fits together. There's no mistakes. It's all perfect. Like you don't have to worry about a thing. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. It's a really beautiful feeling. The body pose.
It's just like kind of like it's like the stars themselves are there with you. So
yeah. It's like a very like you're in this ultimate taking care of space. Like everything is good. Are you still using the same source from our friend? I'm asking for an important reason. Making my own. I'm not getting any, Kirsten. It's something that just kind of exists at this point. Like I'm not reaching out for anything at this point. It's whatever needs to appear. That's what appears. That's kind of how I'm going about it. The way of the Tao. Are you guys going to eat some sushi? The what?
Oh yeah. No, she had some in the back. We're gonna go eat tacos at a friend's house. Yeah. Oh my god.
I gave away the sushi to a friend. Yeah. Because I forgot we were supposed to go to a friend's house.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Sushi and tacos. I mean, you can't lose there.
Right.
Oh no, no. It has nothing to do with the kind, Kirsten. It has nothing to do with the kind. It makes no difference whatsoever. I tried everything. As long as it's in a vape, I immediately feel like crap. And I think it has to do with the alcohol content in it. And no, there is no way to make it without alcohol. People say, no, but you can mix it. No. There is no way to put it in a vape with zero alcohol. There's no way to do this. So even if you're going to use the smaller amounts, whatever, it always going to have some alcohol content. And I think I became so sensitive to this that even if I smoke like a tiny, tiny bit of it, I become hungover. I get slammed in the face immediately. I knew when we were shooting the film that I'm going to have to do it for the study with Stuart, because it's like a big deal, you know, doing like a brain scan with Stuart Hemmerov. And I was preparing for this for I don't know how long. I was like, and I told Aaron, the director, I was like, hey, like I'm gonna be messed up for like a day or two. Like it's just what's gonna be. And like right before we're kind of like deciding, like, should you do it? I'm like, I mean, we don't get this opportunity again, so whatever. And then I did it, and I was like, yep, just that's a hard no. That's like it's just I feel so messed up after that. Just not worth it. It basically joined the family of the other substances that we said goodbye for now. So 5-MeO full throttle, baby.
So the 5, what are they vaporizing that with?
The what?
Are you doing the 5 in a vapor form or like?
I also try, yeah, vape. I use a vaporizer with the crystals, and you can also. I didn't know this existed, but there's a nasal spray.
Oh, that's right. You were doing nasal
Yeah,
spray.
then I did both. With the nasal spray, you can't really get that far. I mean, you can get pretty far, but you can't like full on you can't do that. But it lasts for 45 minutes. You're out there for 45 minutes. Yeah, so it's a lot easier, I guess, because you just kind of sit there and it's there. Nico, how are you, brother? Nico the man. Let's see what else we got here.
I was thinking about what Nico was saying. I think it was Nico that brought it up. I was a little late. It was about the levels of the simulation and stuff like that. And I'm always I've always thought of them like as gates. You pass through different gates, and each time you pass through another one gate, there's no real turning back.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep going forward.
Wait, what are you talking about in terms of gates?
Well, you guys recall talking about like levels of the simulation, like where different, just making distinctions maybe on where someone's at in a simulation. I think few days ago or something. I think that's what you were talking about. Nico would have to chime in here.
Here you go. Nico's chiming in.
Yeah, I thought that would get him in here.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, we do.
That's Nico. No. Yeah, that's where you guys were talking about using coming up with a proper vocabulary or something to make.
Yeah. The like the epochs, like simulation 1, simulation.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. It just
simulation 0, which is like the base layer.
Because simulation 0 was, I guess, when it's just all the stuff that came pre-computational ideas. So the allegory of the cave. It's just so I guess what I identified in your hierarchy is that the level of granularity. That's what it is, right? So the first computational simulation 0 is that the world is Maya. The world is an illusion. It's just the general idea that the world is not what it seems to be, right? So that's simulation 0. Then simulation 1 is computational ideas about, okay, well, it's based on computation. Somehow it's based on computation. Then I guess 2 would be kind of like the Matrix, like you more specific, like, who did it and when and why, like more specific. And then 3 would be core, like interacting with it, at least having a direct access to it in real life, not just through ideas. And then 4 would be managing to influence it and interact with it and whatever. And then 5 is when you eat popcorn in the simulation 1 level up.
Yeah, 5 is when you go back in. You prefer the steak and the red dress. What's that guy's name?
Morpheus? Cypher?
Cypher. Yeah, that's when you become Cypher.
Wait, why? Oh, because you want to be put back in? That was the more reasonable position, honestly.
The reality is so harsh and so unpleasant that you just plug back in.
Yeah, you basically lose your agency. I guess that was the. Why do I believe in a simulation? Well, you're gonna have to kind of follow the channel a little bit. Yeah, there's a bunch of videos of mine that you can watch on the subject. If you watch the ones that are more viral on the channel, the ones that are in the millions of views, then it will give you an idea of why I'm claiming. The general gist of it is that I'm claiming to have found proof.
Melvin is Melvin feels like he's simulation 2, but I think he might even be trying to connect it to reality, right? So he's kind of like in simulation 3.0 camp as well, I feel like. Where he's connecting it to hard drives and COVID and it's just he's building these bridges.
Well, I think what he's doing is trying to make it more scientific. Like how can we actually he doesn't want to rush. He's not philosophizing or just theorizing. He's trying to see what possible ideas can map onto something that we can actually test for. He proposes a test for this. He's not just talking about the theory of it. And the test is relatively cheap, like $600,000. You can make the test happen. It's like low energy test. You can basically, if you can prove that information weighs something, and he says there's a way to do this.
But I feel like this idea of manifesting through meditation, or like these little experiments, right, where you manifest things or test the matrix. I feel like there's got to be some. I don't want to call it a hack, but there's got to be some methodology to actually. Well, I don't want to say have agency, but like computationally, it reduce your way to your goal, right, or make your goal happen.
Wait, can you? No, I'm not sure I'm following that. Can you repeat?
Let's say I want to be a billionaire, right?
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, which I don't know. I think it's a pretty hard thing to do, but could I? I mean, I guess I could try to become a billionaire, and a lot of people do become billionaires, but like, how do I? A lot of people also fail at becoming billionaires. So like, how do you? Can you manifest your way to becoming a billionaire? Yeah, I don't know.
I think this is.
Are you talking about with the molecule or without?
I guess that's the answer, huh?
Yeah, because like I've noticed that like with the molecule, you can through physical exercises while you're doing it, staying like very active and focusing on holding control of what you're doing in this world, not going eyes shut and into the la la lands. You can really access. The way I like to put it is that kind of like what Gallimore talks about, your mind is a world-building machine. So I'd like to say that if you can allow your body to synchronize with that world-building machine, then your world-building machine take over, then it starts altering this reality. And so that just manifests in like you start. It's a for me, molecule is not a lay down and feel like you're on a drug. It's a move and get your whole body interacting with it and physically and the whole deal. So at that state, then you can get coupled with meditation. There's some interesting visualizations into the future that you can get, like, well, at least for me, highly granular, like to every little detail, pretty far out. And once you can see something that clearly in the future, then all you got to do is just step it back until where you're at in the present. You'll see every step you need to take to get to that spot. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the clarity and intention and holding that clarity and intention for long periods of time. So with the molecule, you might be able to see more possibilities, but you would still have to be able to hold that frame for a long time to make the thing happen. I think the reason most people... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it helps to, like, once you have that frame, just like step it back. Like, okay, where would I be 2 weeks before that happens? Where would I be 2 weeks before that? And you start mapping what you would be at until you're at the present, and then you really have a really nice roadmap to what you need to actions you need to take to get there.
And I think this is why most people don't get there, because they get distracted. They can't hold the intention long enough and not strongly enough. And in order to get to these big things, you usually need to convince a lot of other people to also hold that intention with you.
You gotta be really inspired. So like you gotta helps to put something at risk. Like just not like okay, yeah, that's what I want. No, you gotta go for it. Put yourself out there. Have something at risk in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
to make it worth it and be inspired.
I think manifestation is a co-creation. And you have to remember that there's also a momentum to the physical world and what it's already doing. So you get to inject your aspirations into it. And if you hold them in view long enough, yes, they will happen. But it would still be dependent on the quote unquote natural processes and the way they unfold in our world. I think this idea that you can just wish a thing to appear in front of you, I mean, clearly it's wrong, because you can't make certain things appear in front of you no matter what, right?
This is all about like once you have to see the vision, and then you got to do the work. And the work is mapping where you would be at but the trick is to map from the future back to the present, and then you have to have complete integrity in doing all the work to get there. But
No shortcuts, basically, even there. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Vaslav, I think.
Stalin is saying, "Hello, Dan. For a long time, I was trying to connect physics to psychonautics, but I always fail to connect it. How is the progress of psychonautics as a science nowadays?" So, good question. I think my answer would be to steer away from even thinking about it in terms of psychonautics. The overarching picture should just say exploring reality for what it is. And if it includes states of mind as part of the picture of what reality is, that should be included in the models, which is a completely coherent idea from any perspective of a scientific endeavor. The fact that people don't do that is simply because they don't really know how to connect those two. But the second you say things like psychonautics, you lose a lot of people because there's connotations to it. And I do think that we should just drop that idea altogether. It's not psychonautics per se, because what does the trick isn't the psychonautics. It's not the substances. It's the carrying of the molecules that are particular kind of computational signals that interact with your system in a particular way that gives you access to certain states. So it's not the mushroom itself. It's not the substance itself. It is the fact that there's regularities in nature that are broader than what we considered. These regularities should include also the exploration of these different codes, which are the molecules, and what kind of function do they give in your brain, and then how does that influence your ability to see these bigger things. We call this cognitive physics because we think it captures the essence of the thing. But I think that staying away from the words psychedelics, psychonautics is a good idea to start with. And it's not because you're shying away from it. It's because it's really not the operative. The operative is the codes that are embedded in them. So paying tribute to the false gods of the shape is actually missing the point anyway, to my mind.
Danny, I had a question. So I follow this Instagram page where this artist has schizophrenia, and his whole page is dedicated to creating what's called a schizophrenia simulator. And I sent you a video.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. It looks a lot like what some of the shapes that appear in the molecule space. Exactly.
Yeah. So I sent it to you, and you said it looks like one of the entities. Looks like that's how the entities look like. But I followed his page, and what he was talking about is like sometimes these entities have intelligence or knowledge that he feels like it's outside of his brain.
Okay.
Right? And so then I kind of thought, this is interesting. Like, is his brain able to simulate these intelligent agents that always hallucinate in and out of his reality? So he talks about life with schizophrenia, and I know schizophrenia is probably a spectrum, but in this guy's version of it, he'll be having a conversation with someone, and there'll be these entities will just be talking to him about this, don't trust this person is trying to undermine you or whatever, right? And it seems like he is having a spirit molecule-like experience, but in a very different form, and it's his default consciousness, right? And I was wondering, have you connected those two things, or do you think there is
which two things specifically?
Schizophrenia and these like DMT?
Yeah. I think that people with schizophrenia, they are their mind drifts into higher spaces, and they picks up on more information that is available, and it doesn't map it perfect. It doesn't map them perfectly here. They kind of drift out there, but they don't have a map. They don't have a map, and everybody are telling them they're crazy. And very often they drift towards pretty dark places, which is very disturbing. Being in a disturbed place with everybody around you telling you you're crazy, while you thinking that what you're seeing is reality, and it's a very unpleasant reality very often. In addition to all of that, you also don't really have a map because nobody knows what you're talking about, so you feel alone. So now you're isolated, afraid, and everybody are telling you you're crazy. This is the perfect recipe for disaster. I think that's exactly what's going on. So there is a way to probably map it, and the problem is that if a person lives there, I mean, the map, even that, doesn't necessarily help them because they don't know how to navigate outside of these spaces. So I think it's real. I just think it's real in a different way. I think it's like I said, there's a co-creation between your perception and what the world is offering. But I think what you're becoming aware on schizophrenia and on these substances is the canvas on which you can paint with your attention grows. So now you can paint on more than just what this was. And there are also other agents that all of a sudden enter the picture that are not just you, but actual external agents. But in addition to that, there's also internally generated agents that appear external. So it's all a mixture. So you both have these things that are delusional because they're just portions of you. And in addition to that, you have actual agents that are outside of you. And at that point, go and figure how to talk about the difference, right? And especially because nobody else knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't think about it that way, but that makes total sense.
Yeah, they're just confused. And I have a friend who was like suffering from it since it was a kid, and it's horrible. Yeah, if it's benign, sometimes you can be lucky, and your schizophrenic outbreaks kind of include pretty benign auditory hallucinations and visuals, but a lot of the time they're not. They're very demonic and crazy and scary, and that, I mean, imagine there's no escape. Like, it's just with you, and you kind of have to just live with it. I mean, I can't even imagine, you know. Yeah. So but it is interesting that the component that he create, the visuals that he created, they're very similar to these external things. So it's not like most things in DMT world, but it is definitely like some. Like, this is why I keep asking people before I've seen the console. There was these iridescent, translucent, exactly looking like this things that are kind of enter the room. They move around, like you can see them. And I've asked. There's only a handful of psychonauts that are seeing these things. Usually people don't see them, but they're very rare. But you can see them. And then the console is. So imagine that, just like it's more opaque, like it's more real, but also it's the same thing. Like, clearly, it's just like a computer of a sort.
So one thing that he said is what he found is that if you observe them and don't interact with them, it's the best way for him to kind of like cope with it. But as you're traveling into these spaces, I remember like Terrence McKenna said something where like, don't give into astonishment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or don't. Is that like do you recommend not interacting with these entities when you're in these spaces, or trying to just like observe their presence? But maybe I know that in the Peruvian tradition they sing ikuros, right, to kind of like keep them away, to create a safe force field.
I know it depends on the beings. So like, I think there's a very large ecosystem. It's very hard to say. It depends on the beings. I would say I always reserve the right to just kind of be, and they're not allowed to enter your space if you're doing that. So I watch. I usually just watch. I don't like. People say I asked a question. I'm like, I very rarely ask a question when I'm talking to what I consider to be kind of like when I'm talking about the government, like the governing entity. Then there's a conversation. But other than that, I don't talk to anyone. Like, they kind of do their thing, but I don't interact with them. I don't ask them anything. I don't. Why would I? Like, I don't think they have anything to share. They're just doing their thing. They're doing their dance. That's my position on that. And saying, I think it's mainly in America, though, right? Like, I read somewhere that around other places it's not all evil or demonic. Well, that I mean, I know you probably don't mean it that way, but this is the most. This is like the anti-Americanism entered the psychedelic space. It's so funny. No, I'm pretty sure it's across the. I'm pretty sure it's not bound by geographic boundaries. Bless your soul. This is so funny. No, actually, America has the dopest beings. The spirit molecule beings are the dopest in America. Number one, baby. Number one interdimensional beings.
The jokesters are all wearing red hats for some reason, dude.
Schizophrenia in other places in the world is treated differently among cultures. That's not true. There are rare places where people are treating. It's true that in some more shamanic traditions, people with mental disabilities are treated a little bit differently. That is true, but that is actually not. That's not the norm. It does happen. It used to be the case in India that people with these kind of special abilities, let's call them, were considered to be divine, and they were treated as very special. That's also true. But this idea that just somehow America is particularly mishandling it is just not true. It's every Western place in the world. It's treated in the same way. Basically, it's the same. It's the same idea. What's up, Wendy? Okay. What is your opinion on philosophical zombies? Do they exist so far? And does Psychonautics say something about it? No, I don't see any reason to think they exist. Okay. I think this is getting a bit late for today. I will call it a night. I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to follow Nico on TikTok, NIKOMACKAY, NIKOMACKY. If you want to follow me across platforms, it's Danny Goller on Instagram and TikTok. It's Goller Danny on X, LaserX83 on Twitch, and Dango Thoughts on YouTube. DANGO Thoughts on YouTube. Come join the membership program that includes weekly lives aside from the daily lives. We have one every Sunday. We dive much deeper into topics and analyze them, and it's a lot of fun. If you join from the second tier on the membership, on the YouTube membership, you will get access to my Zoom calls once a month with members. One is coming up, so come and join that one. And if you want to donate to the film, you can find a trailer on YouTube on Dango Thoughts. DANGO Thoughts on YouTube is the YouTube channel, and you can find the GoFundMe page there. What else? Come join our Discord. Wonderful community of people exchanging ideas. You can find the links to that also on YouTube on the main page and in the link tree in the description. If you guys want to, we do a daily donation for people of need. So if you have $1 to spare, every single dollar that people donate, I immediately send it to the individuals that are under discussion. Currently, we're still donating to an individual by the name of Casey. He's a wonderful gentleman who currently lives on very, very little in Mexico, and about $150 a month makes a huge difference for him because he can eat and he can stay in places and doesn't have to stay on the street. I don't want to be recording these in advance because I want them to be real. For all intents and purposes, he's just an individual kind of currently in life experiencing a little bit of a internal turmoil that prevents him from being able to execute functions that bring him money. But he is an educated person. He's just having a little bit of a hard time, and people were donating every day. I deeply appreciate the people who donate. And I realized that we can actually utilize the fact that a lot of people in this community are coming here every day, and there's more and more and more people. If every few people, every few days, every 5 days, every 6 days can donate $1, and truly $1 is sufficient, which I think most people spending $1 every 5 or 6 days is barely something they feel. Of course, it has to only be if this is not like no problem for you. It has to come with flow. It has to come with harmony. It has to be simple and easy to do. It cannot go against the grain. It cannot be on the expense of something that you might need later. The whole point is that we're leveraging our good fortune, and we're doing it with flow and with ease. Thank you so much, Evil Icon. That is very generous of you. And every dollar goes directly to Casey, and I'm adding more money on top of that every time I'm sending it to him. And the second we're done with him, I think if we raise $200 that month for him, I think that sets him up really nice. And then we can move on to the next person, and we can keep doing this. And then eventually we will find a way to also streamline the money in a more coherent way, in which we can actually help a lot more individuals. But that's coming down the road. Definitely working on these ideas and how to develop them. So again, thank you so much, Evil Icon. I appreciate you. Only if it makes no difference to you whatsoever in terms of like it doesn't actually hurt any financial decision you have to make. If you can donate $1 every few days, every 5 days, every 6 days, here in the chat, I will immediately send all of that to Casey. And he was extremely grateful. He was very touched because now it was such a relief for him, because he was literally, every few days he would have to kind of like, okay, I don't know how I eat, which is wild. So I'm so happy that we get to do this. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everybody who are donating. It is very heartwarming that people are opening their hearts. and I know that your money goes for a very good and beautiful use of helping others who are more of need than the lucky us. I appreciate you guys. I want to always acknowledge our incredible moderators, Ebony and Chris and Guru and Ebony and Ebony twice. Why not? And Jessica. Without you, these lives and the Discord group would not be as easily managed. It will be chaos. So I appreciate you guys. Love you very much. Thank you for doing everything you're doing. Everybody are volunteering, and this is not going. It's not going without being noticed. It's incredible. Thank you guys. I want to acknowledge all the community members, the old and the new, for always showing up, for always being here, for always filling in space, asking questions, engaging, making this a fun experience for everybody, and being respectful and loving. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody. Much peace and love. See you tomorrow. Ciao. Have a good night, guys.